And sometimes I just don't like what I be doing. Sometimes I just do not like covering the Cleveland Browns during the offseason. And one of the reasons I don't like doing it is I got to hear about all these wacky trades. This clip is courtesy of Sports for CLE. And you tell me, maybe I'm tripping, but none of these trades are popping off, and none of them are realistic.
This from Dog Pound Daily. 3 Browns players who could be traded ahead of training camp. They say Jerome Ford, when Nick Chubb was injured in Week 2 against Pittsburgh Steelers, Ford pushed into the starting role. 12 yards, 8 rushing attempts in Week 1. Number 2 back had 36 yards, 15 attempts. Number 2, they say Maurice Hurst, defensive tackle, quick to sign veteran players on 1-year deals, prove they have what it takes to succeed in the NFL. So they did take Michael Hall Jr., so that's kind of the rationale there. Number 1, Elijah Moore. Ahead of the 2023 season, sent the 42nd overall pick. They did a pick swap in exchange for Moore in the 74th pick. Moore was taken in the 2nd round at 34 and has not lived up to the potential, is kind of the rationale there. I don't think there's any way they're trading Jerome Ford. I would be surprised if they traded Maurice Hurst or Elijah Moore. I don't think they're trading any of those guys. I just don't.
What? What are we talking about? Like, why would... First and foremost, let's keep it real. Jerome Ford is probably going to be your starting running back Week 1. Even when Nick Chubb was completely 100% and he was Nick Chubb, he was still on a pitch count, 16 to 18 carries. We was arguing back and forth all last season. We derailed whole shows on UCSS because I would argue that they don't give the ball to Nick Chubb enough, right? He's coming off a catastrophic knee surgery, and you're getting rid of Jerome Ford. Now, don't get it twisted. Is Jerome Ford like some sort of like, is he a game changer? No, but he's a very serviceable running back. He's fast, some speed. He's shown ability to hit some long run plays. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. You drafted him, you developed him. He had 800 some odd yards last year. Jerome Ford is a guy who's going to, if nothing more, eat up some carries. You got to look at Deontay Foreman is just a goal line guy. He's taking the position of Kareem Hunt, short yardage, goal line, a bruiser. He's going to be a change of pace back. Hines is a guy that's going to be a special team guy. He's going to be returning kicks, doing things like that. 3rd down, you're going to have a lot of guys that are going to be having more of a stable approach. But why would you they're not trading him and give the ball to who every play? That just makes no sense to me. And by the way, they didn't even address the position in the draft. They didn't even draft a young back. So you just knew what it was when you was going to keep Jerome Ford. That was not happening. By the way, Andrew Berry does not make a habit of drafting guys, giving them playing time and then cutting them or trading them. It just doesn't work. Not happening. Let's get to Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore, now listen, I'm not the biggest Elijah Moore fan, right? Elijah Moore at the number 1 or number 2 receiver, trying to get off jams, trying to get off the line of scrimmage, being smaller, not having the elite deep speed is a problem. But you ain't got to worry about that. That's why you went and got Jerry Jeudy. You got Amari Cooper. So now you're sliding Elijah Moore down in a contract year where he knows he has to perform at slot. He's not a number 1 or a number 2, but he sure as heck is a serviceable 3. And what do you want? You do understand that we are going to be throwing the ball a lot more. There are going to be more 4 receiver sets. And Cedric Tillman, again, different body type. Cedric Tillman, big guy. He's, we talk about being on the outside. You're going to have guys who you're going to need to fill in the roster at wide receiver. I'd much rather have Elijah Moore than David Bell. I'd much rather have Elijah Moore than Woods. We don't know what Jamari Thrash is. So why are you trading someone when you've already used assets for him? This guy is already in your program, and he's better than what you got unproven young guys behind him. Makes no sense at all. And this one definitely don't make sense. I hate talking about defensive tackles with people. I don't like talking big dudes with nobody. I just don't. Because frankly, people don't know, unless you get a tackle for loss on the defensive side or a holding penalty, people just have no clue if offensive linemen are good or not. Defensive linemen, they don't know. How many sacks did you have? And how? That's what it is. When you take a look and you say Maurice Hurst is an impact defensive lineman. This guy is a huge rotational piece. Before he got hurt, Maurice Hurst was one of the best defensive linemen when it comes to pass rush ability, his pass rush grade, being able to collapse the pocket, and having pass rush ability at the 3 technique. He has more pass rush ability than Tomlinson, has more pass rush ability, in my opinion, than Shelby Harris, who's also a cool one, right? Why would you then say you're getting rid of him after you bring him back because you got Michael Hall Jr.? Michael Hall Jr. is not going to be a guy who's going to be coming in, taking significant snaps his rookie year. If you get him 10 to 12 snaps a game and get him some pass rush downs, we'll take it. We'll take it. He is not a ready to go prospect, especially being undersized defensive tackle. So again, I'll be telling you, the Browns content, boy, the imaginary trades. You got the imaginary list where the Browns is at the bottom of every list, where Caleb Williams, the rookies, is better than everybody the Browns got, and I got to talk about them. This is the reason why I can't wait for training camp to come, and it won't be here soon enough. Let's get